equivalent fractions What are equivalent fractions? Equivalent fractions are fractions that are equal to each other, equal in value, equal value fractions. For example, if we have 1/2 and we represent that with a pi, I divided the pi already into 4 slices, but maybe I should have just divided it into 2. But what I want to show you is how here we have a half of a pie shaded in, but actually the pie has been cut into 4 pieces. And so 1/2, as you can see, is exactly the same thing as 2/4. 2 pieces that are 1/4 of the pie are equal to 1/2. They are called equivalent fractions. Let's take another example. 1/2, and again, this time I'll just divide the pie in half. I won't jump ahead. So there's half a pie. But we could also divide this pie this way. So now we have 4ths. You can see we have 2/4, and then we can divide the pie again. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slices. And of the 8 slices, each slice is an eighth of the pie. There are 4 of them. 1/2 is equal to 4/8. These are equivalent fractions. Now we can show this, or we can do equivalency just using math. We don't have to draw pies to do this. And the way that we would do this, let's say we have the fraction 1/2, and we would like to convert that into eighths. Well, in order to change the 2 into an 8, we would have to multiply by 4. If we multiply the denominator by 4, mathematically, we also need to multiply the 1 by 4. 1 times 4 is 4. Now, why do we need to multiply both of them, both the numerator and the denominator, by 4? Well, let's look at 4 over 4. What is 4 over 4? 4/4 is the same thing as 1. So what we are doing here is actually just multiplying by 1. And any number that's multiplied by 1 is the same thing. It doesn't change. Let's take another example. Let's say we have thirds, and we would like to convert those thirds into twelfths. In order to change thirds into twelfths, we have to multiply by 4. And here, since we multiplied the denominator by 4, we also multiply the numerator by 4. 1 times 4 is 4. So 1/3 is the same thing as 4/12. How about 3/4? And we want to convert those into 20ths. To convert a 1/4 into a 20th, we have to multiply it by 5. 4 times 5 equals 20. Since we multiplied the denominator here by 5, we also multiply the numerator by 5. 3 times 5 is 15. And so we have 3/4 is equal to 15/20. Another example, 2/5 equals how many hundredths? Well, to convert the fifths into hundredths, we would have to multiply that by 20. 5 times 20 is 100. If we multiply the denominator by 20, we also have to multiply the numerator by 20. 2 times 20 is 40. And so very simply, 2/5 is equal to 40 100ths. And so that is the main method that we use for showing equivalent fractions, simply to multiply both the numerator and the denominator of the fraction by the same number, and then we'll get an equivalent fraction here.